Skipjacks were introduced to the Chesapeake Bay region in the late 1890s. Oystermen favored the inexpensive wooden boat because it was light, easy to build, and could navigate the shallow waters of the bay. In the early 1900s, there were an estimated 2,000 working dredge boats. Skipjacks quickly became a cultural icon, representing a time when bounty poured forth from the waters of the Chesapeake in such abundance that the bay supported not only Maryland, but the surrounding mid-Atlantic region. As the oysters in the bay began to disappear, so too did the skipjacks. In 1957, more than 80 skipjacks plied the waters of the bay. Today, there are fewer than 30 still in existence, and few operate commercially except in the tourist trade. In 1985, the state of Maryland designated the skipjack the official state boat, and in 2000, a task force was formed to address the decline of the fleet. It was decided to provide subsidized repair services to active dredging vessels in order to stabilize their condition. The Skipjack Restoration Project began in July of 2001 at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. Using Chesapeake wood boat building techniques, the museum's shipwrights and apprentices have repaired and restored 9 skipjacks to date. In November of 2010, the museum announced plans for a 3-year restoration project of one of the most famous and well-known skipjacks, to be performed in full view of the public.
This is one of the most significant, the most exciting projects that we as a museum have undertaken. It's, to my mind, epitomizes what this museum is all about. It speaks to the history, it speaks to the industry, the culture, and the people of our beloved Chesapeake Bay.
The Rosie Parks was built in 1955 by the legendary Bronza Parks. The celebrated Dorchester County boat builder constructed Rosie side by side with 2 other skipjacks, the Martha Lewis and the Lady Katie. Captain Orville Parks, Bronza's brother, owned Rosie and named her for their mother. Captain Parks dredged for oysters from age 12 to retirement at age 78, selling Rosie to the museum in 1975. Rosie had a reputation as both the best maintained skipjack and the fastest, winning in the annual skipjack races at Deal Island and Sandy Point. At 50 years old, Rosie is in need of substantial rebuilding. Repairs were made as needed until 1994, but Rosie still remains one of the least altered historic skipjacks. The restoration is scheduled to begin in spring of 2011, during which time the public will be invited to observe and interact throughout the entire process. The restoration will be funded completely by generous donors who care deeply about preserving what we love about the Chesapeake. Making a tax-deductible gift to the Rosie Parks Restoration Project will save the boat from ultimate demise and will ensure that the legacy of this boat, its builder, and the stories it holds will not just be something we tell our children and grandchildren, but something to experience.